And we're on the air. We're live. Glad to see
Okay,
you
we're
out
live.
there.
Yeah, greetings and welcome. Thomas, I want you to do something a little different from now on. When you say go live, I want you to say we're live and here's Gary.
Mr.
I'm
Gary
only,
Fitzgerald,
I'm
CEO
only,
of the
I'm only
Millionaires
kidding.
Club.
Trying to have a little fun, inject a little humor into these things, and stuff. So. It just struck me funny because last time we had a little thing I mentioned you were like Ed McMahon and I'm Johnny Carson, you were Ed McMahon, so I said, oh, that'd be kind of funny for you.
Okay, sure. It sounds good
No,
to me.
I'm only kidding. I only did that for a joke, and I don't want you to do that. Anyway, he said my name, Gary Fitzgerald, President and CEO of Billionaires Club, and we got Mr. Thomas Fernandez. Who are you on this club? You are a top leader in this company, right?
Yes, I am.
You're on the leadership board. All right, so let's get going here. This webinar, Hangout, I'm not sure what you want to call it, it's a 4-day series. It's about thinking right plus acting right equals right results. So yesterday we talked about thinking right. You have to think right because thinking actually controls what you do. So if you're not thinking right, you're really not going to do the right things, and the results are going to not be good. So if you're thinking right, that creates right actions, and the right actions create right results. So yesterday we're just talking about, you really got to, really focus on what you're thinking about, what kind of stuff you're putting into your mind. Are they positive thoughts? Or are they negative thoughts? I mentioned to Thomas about his computer. He talked about when a virus gets into your computer, all kinds of weird things happen. It crashes, freezes, all kinds of weird stuff. But all of it's bad. So the same situation is if you put all this negative stuff, it becomes a virus in your mind, in your thinking, and that stuff comes back out. So if your mind is in a negative world, your outside world is also becomes a negative. So, and that's why if you see people complaining all the time and they're not happy, not satisfied, because they're putting all negative thoughts in their mind and they're just thinking all bad things. Um, so if you get a chance, go back to the person who invited you. We can send you the recorded link so you can watch that webinar. Today's webinar is going to be on acting right. Okay, how do you act right so you can get the right results? And we're going to touch, we're going to go into just some basics, not into in-depth stuff because it take a long time. But that would be part of the training you would receive within the Millionaires Club. And so we're trying to give you an idea of what kind of training you're going to get in the Millionaires Club on a continuous basis, constantly, every week, and pushing you and motivating you to succeed and become successful in your life. And I think that's probably what you want to happen, right? So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna put a lot of fun and humor into our training. So it's not all just serious stuff. Life is meant to be enjoyed, to have fun with it, but you have to be serious about it at the same time. But you can have fun and be serious. If you one of the things, if you find your passion in life, and in that passion you can use it to create an income, then you never really have to work a day in your life again. For myself, I loved it. I love this stuff I'm doing, or I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. I love helping people. It helps me at the same time as I help people grow. I'm growing at the same time because I'm reading books, doing all kinds of other stuff to improve myself so I can pass on what I learn, and I pass it on to the members of the club. and hopefully that'll help them, you know, do something in their life. And so that's what we're all about. I just want to take a few minutes to just, bring you up to date on what's happening. Tomorrow we're going to talk about results, and then on Thursday we're going to do a little bit of review, a real quick review of the first three things, and then we'll do a really fast presentation on the membership of the Millionaires Club, and then hopefully that'll be enough for you to want to join. Any comments on it, Thomas, at all? Anything I just mentioned?
No, you're doing fine. It's just we're trying to stimulate the interest there to take it to where people could see the value of being able to be part of the Millionaires Club.
Yeah. So let me ask you. Let me ask you kind of a question before I get into any stuff here. But how's things going? how is your life? Your life and your business. Are you getting the results that you want? I'm getting some feedback there. So are you getting the results you really want? What kind of results are you getting? Is your life moving forward? Is your income moving forward? What's happening? Or are you
what's happening? What's happening in my life is that I've got a more positive attitude. I am really interested and dedicated to this club, and my business is really taking off. It's kind of slow right now, but I see that it will flourish and it will give me a better lifestyle, and I'll be able to enjoy some of the luxuries that I've always wanted and have had in the past, because I have had some money and have enjoyed making trips. I've been to Hawaii 3 times. I've been to back to Arizona, to Texas, Alaska. So I've had these things, and I will be able to do that once again with the Millionaires Club. But we want to be able to help other people take those trips, take vacations. And as I've said before, this is the summertime, and a lot of people like to go to the beach. But like Gary, why not be able to buy part of that beach? That is one of the things that we try to do for you.
Yeah, like you can't buy part of the beach, but you can buy property on the beach attached to it.
Right.
But if you talk about going on trips and vacations and things, at a certain point, in the future, if you get really involved with the Millionaires Club, you can start actually going first class, staying in executive suites at the hotels, doing everything first class. So we want you to live a first class lifestyle. We don't want you to be average. Don't be average. There's no great rewards being an average, right? Or less. Don't. Oh my God, if you're less than average, oh my God, you got to do something now. I keep saying this is your life. If you're not happy with where you are now, you gotta take actions. To move forward. You have to, unless you don't care about your life, if you're happy just being where you are, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you have happiness in you. But if you've got dreams and you're not satisfied, and you gotta start take hold of yourself and really put yourself out there and there's so much possibilities, I mean, it's out there. All you have to really do is you have to really, really want it very, very bad. It has to be a priority in your life. Most people's priority, I think, is just to survive. Make enough money to pay the bills and stuff like that. That's their priority, and that's really wrong. I mean, that's not really the right way to live. And when you get older, you're going to regret that you didn't even give it a good shot at it. And
I know.
you know,
I know that we have a saying in the leadership uh, group that I belong to. Average sucks. Right.
is that
And
what they say?
we have a saying, average sucks. And that's why we advance and try to do better, because it's within us to be able to do it. And I know out there it's within you also to be able to be better than average.
I mean, yeah, it's everything you need to proceed forward and to create the lifestyle and your dream life that you want. It's within you. You just gotta kind of reach in, pull out the tools that you have, put them into use, and do it on a consistent basis. You know, you can't just, you know, you got to be consistent on this. So you got to be consistent and persistent. You know, even if the results aren't there, okay, we're talking about action. So if your results aren't even there right away, you have to persist. You know, like right now, Thomas, you know, with the Millionaires Club is only like, what, 2 weeks open now. And
Right.
People are not aware of how great this opportunity is yet. So people are just now they're paying attention. And so we're, you know, it's growing at a snail's pace, right? And but there's going to be one situation that happens. I always like to call it a tipping point, where what happens here is all of a sudden one thing happens, and all of a sudden it opens up, and shoom, floodgates open, everything big happens. So, and that's part of the joy of life sometimes, because if you are pursuing your dream, you know, and sometimes you don't have to worry about how you're going to get there, right? You got some little, oh, you're distracting my thoughts there a little bit.
Toby.
You got him? I love Hangouts. You never know what's going to happen when you're live. Anything can happen, right? So I love dogs. The only thing about dogs I hate is that they bark. So anyway, getting back on track here. What am I talking about? What was I talking about, Thomas? Totally lost my train of thought. You guys, see what happens when I. You know what's funny, Thomas, is when I do these hangouts, right?
Okay.
I have to be alone. I have to be in a house alone, because if my wife is here, she's a distraction. I know she's here, and sometimes the phone will ring or whatever. So I kind of need really total space for myself, so I can think properly. And you know, like this dog barking, you know, that little thing will break my concentration. So I really have to work hard. Yeah, that's okay. I don't worry about the dog. I just, you know, I like to stay focused. You know, he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, this is part of the actions is, you know, when I do something, I'm focused, so focused, and I have to keep distractions away. So we're, you know, when we're getting ready to move. This is my son-in-law's house here, and I think Friday we're moving into our new condo, and it'll be a lot better there. And my wife I'm going to lock myself in the bedroom when she's home. I'm going to try and to get past this thing where I have to chase her out of the house.
Okay.
But, you know, like it just keeps me focused better, you know. And that's part of the thing what I was going to talk about is, you know, because we're talking about actions, how to get the best actions. And what you do is you have to really focus your thoughts on what you're doing right now in the present, you know, situation. You got to really focus hard. And I was going to do an example here. You know, it's good to have, you know, keep your eye on the prize, you know, what results you want to happen down the road. but you really got to concentrate and focus full time on whatever you're doing at the moment. You can't be any place else. You can't have any distraction in your mind or in the house. Okay. You know, when I read quietly. I always go to a quiet spot. TV is off, nothing. Phone is off. Everything's totally focused. Um, and you know, I like to use an example. If you ever have I don't have one here, but you ever have owned a magnifying glass, right? And if you go outside in the summertime, when the sun is up, midday, right? You take that magnifying glass and you hold it in such a way where the light goes through it, the sun goes through the magnifying glass, right? Now, what happens? I mean, he has some dried leaves on the ground, and you have the magnifying glass there, right? And if you have a circle, right, like this, the leaves will get warm, all right? But if you move the magnifying glass a little bit more, and where it really creates a really small circle, it'll heat up those leaves and actually turn them on fire. So that's what, you know, so that's what you focus, you know, if you focus, you got to concentrate on the spot in the middle, and everything else around it should be like, you know, vague. So you got to focus, laser focus on what you're doing. And you'll be amazed at the results, because you'll save a lot of time. Because if you're not focused, or you're trying to do too many things at one time, you know, it slows you down. It's really not productive. You know, what they call multitasking. If you're trying to do too many things at one time, you know, that doesn't work. You actually create more mistakes.
Right.
It slows you down. It slows you down, because what if you're doing one thing over here, right? You're doing one thing over here, then you go over here and you want to do something else, and you go back over here. You got to kind of find out where you left off again. Where you got to look, where did I leave off? Then you got to spend some time refreshing your memory. So it's really, it's not productive. It's not efficient. It's not effective. And it's a total waste of time. So you do one thing at a time, and you focus on that, get it done, and you move on to the next thing you have to do. Now, what I also do, you know, is the night before, I plan for the next day. I make my little priority list, not a to-do list. I'll talk about that in a second, but I make a priority list. And I make a list of all the things I have to do the next day. And then I number them, right? Sometimes it doesn't have to be 10 or anything, but it just has to be things that you have to be done. And you prioritize them into the numbers. And then what I do is I always do the biggest priority first. Okay, because I have the most energy and I'm most enthusiastic when I first get up. So I put, you know, it's easier to put all your energy into that main priority. And then I do the second priority, third priority. And then at the end of the day, you know, if they're all checked, I had a successful day. Right? So what I do know is a lot of people, they have a to-do list. And they'll have a to-do, you know, they get these little forms they buy in the store, and all these things. They write down to-do. You ever, and you know what the thing is? You know, it says they choose the easiest ones to do first, right? And they leave the harder ones for later. Procrastination. So, you know, I even saw a commercial on TV where they had this wife out. Here's a list, honey, of things to do. And the husband reads the list, and he reads off what they were. And, oh, this one looks easy. I'll do that one. Now, you know, everybody's guilty of this. I'm guilty of it. I know Thomas is. I'm sure he's guilty of it too. Sometimes you get lazy, and you know, but you know, if you want to create success, prioritize the things you have to do, okay, and do them, all right, and just do them. And what you do is, if you do have a priority list, right, and you don't do it, at the end of the day, you know, you check off on your calendar, put a big F there for failure. You had a failure of a day.
Well, that doesn't happen. Yeah, that doesn't happen to me because part of my chores and to-dos are feeding animals, and they have to eat every day. The same thing as preparing meals for us here. So, but I do devote X amount of hours toward my business, the Millionaires Club, and that is first thing in the morning, and then throughout the day. So I prioritize those hours to be able to focus on building my business and getting it going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, you know, I don't know who's going to listen to this hangout or not. You may be an internet marketer, you may have a job, right? But you always have things to do. And if you want to create a really fantastic lifestyle, you have to start asking yourself, what can I do today to move myself forward? And every day you have to ask yourself that question, and and make an action plan up. And I'm not going to get too much into that because that's a whole different hangout. But today was basically trying to give you the basics of how to create good results, and by good results you got to take good actions. So you got to know what you're going to do every day, and then you got to do them. If you're an internet marketer, you need to be marketing most of the time, contacting people, making connections and things like that. That's what I do all the time. When I go on Facebook and stuff, and I talk to people and I make comments on Facebook, and and so it's working well. All right, so let me move on a little bit further here. Yeah, like I said, even multi-purpose. Some people I know if they're an internet marketer, I know a couple of people. They have like 3 or 4 opportunities they're working on. That's okay if you're already successful. You should really focus on one thing at a time. And if you're network marketing, you work on one opportunity, and when that opportunity is paying $10,000 a month, then at that time, residual income, and at that time you can think about moving on to open up another one. But if you're not making money on one, and then you go into another one, and how can you split up your energy efficiently? Okay, you can't do it. You got to focus on one, create a success in that, and then you can move forward from there. Okay, let's. Like I said, this is general. General education, basic, and we do more extensive training within the Millionaires Club where we'll actually go into a lot more depth of these topics I'm talking about. But I just want to just show you these are certain things you need to pay attention to if you want to get better results in your life. Okay. Let's go. Okay, yeah. When anything you do, whether you're an internet marketer or you're doing something on the side, you do one thing, right? And what you do is you work hard until you create one right thing. So, like I was saying, today you do one right thing. Tomorrow you do one more right thing. The next day you do another right thing, and then they compound on top of each other. Okay. And what happens? It kind of builds like a upside down pyramid. You start off small, then it builds and builds and builds and builds. And so one success builds on another success, and you keep going from there. And like a domino effect, right? So work on one thing, get one thing right, and then do the next thing. Okay? And also you got to pay attention to what's working and what's not working. If you're doing something that's not working, stop doing it. Or improve it so you get the results you want. If something is working, do more of it. Does that make sense? If something's not working, don't do it no more. Because
Well, that's why we only ask. Yeah, that's why we only ask a portion of your time. It's not as if we're asking for a full day. We're asking for maybe an hour or two. And as you get along and you're seeing progress, you yourself will know how much time you want to spend toward developing in your own business. And that's what we do. We try to help you to have your own business so that you can have those accomplishments that you want.
Yeah, when you're chasing after success, you really need to focus on that one thing. I'm trying to get that message across to you, and put everything you got into it. Like I was telling you, this one guy, well, actually, this one guy, I know he's got four. He's working on 4 business opportunities. And I don't know how he could, get to 4 at the same time. How can he market 4 companies at the same time? People are going to say, well, he's marketing this, he's marketing that. It doesn't work. Even if you're doing 2 opportunities, how can you chase 2 rabbits at the same time? You're not going to catch neither one of them. So, there's some people, they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I kind of used to say that until the baskets never got filled. None of them. Because I was separating my time too much for all the baskets, and I wasn't really working effectively and efficiently on any one of them. It was just all over the place. So Warren Buffett, probably the biggest investor known, the most successful investor known, he says put all your eggs in one basket and watch that basket. So
Keep
once
your
I
eye on
learned
the basket, that's right.
yeah, once I learned that lesson, that's why it's so important that you read and you educate yourself, because you read these people who are very successful, and they give you these treasures, tidbits here and there, and they tell you the secrets of success, and it's all basic stuff. They just do it over and over and over again. They just do it consistently. Every day they just work on it, and they put everything they got into it. So put all your eggs in one basket, build it full, protect it, from any harm, and then if you want to move on to something else, then you can do that. But build the basket first, and then. So that's what I'm doing with the Millionaires Club. All my focus is on the Millionaires Club. I don't have anything else I'm doing besides this. Because if I try to do this Millionaires Club and something else, it's going to take valuable time away from the Millionaires Club. Why would I want to do that?
That's right.
Even if I could make money through this other opportunity, why would I want to do that? It just doesn't work. This is my dream here. The Millionaires Club is my dream. That's going to create an unbelievable lifestyle for me and the members. And just the thought of that happening, that I'm going to be able to help a lot of people create a fantastic lifestyle for themselves. And I go along with them. I'm going along on the ride with them. So if I help them, they help me. Right and simple. All right?
Yep, that's right.
Let me see, I'm just going down. Okay. Another thing, too, is you think big. You talk about thinking yesterday, and so you got to think big, and then your action should be big. You got to have like a really big vision down the road. It's got to be huge, and it's got to be something that really excites you. Because when you get there, we say, it excites you to a point where you can't wait to get there. And then you'll start taking actions, right, to move you closer every day. And it takes time. Everything takes time. But you never know. Something just may happen where one thing happens, and all of a sudden it makes you leapfrog so far ahead. So you never know. You just never know. You hear about these overnight successes and stuff like that. So you may be going along, clicking along, and all of a sudden one thing will happen. Boom, you got it.
That's right.
So it's a mystery. It's a real mystery, but it's a lot of fun. Okay. All right. So focus on being productive. You know, it's kind of what I just said as far as being a focus, right? Always be productive. Always make sure what you're doing is producing something. So pay attention to your results. If results are not where you want to be, you got to change your actions. You know, it might fine tune it. You know, results is feedback. It tells you if what you're doing is working or not working. So pay attention to the results, because you know therein lies the answer. So you know, if your life is not where you want it to be, then you're doing something wrong, or you're not doing something that you should be doing. So yeah. We're going to go more into this, you know. Inside the Millionaires Club, we're going to have all kinds of a lot of videos. I like doing videos. Here's the thing I wanted to talk about. Sometimes you have to do things that are uncomfortable until they become comfortable. You probably heard that statement, Thomas, right?
Yes, we have.
Okay, so you know, when I first got on the internet, you know, I was doing, you know, solo ads, and I was doing some paid marketing and stuff, and it was good. You know, I would get some results, but they weren't really the results I wanted, and so I kept looking. I kept trying different actions, and I was watching the results, and so I was like all over the place. I was doing some blogging. I was doing articles, and you know, then one day one of my friends who's really successful, he says, Gary, you know, you got to do videos and stuff. I said, well, I don't know about videos. You know, I don't know if I can do videos or not. I mean, you need to have a certain personality, and you got to be, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I can do videos. And he said, just do them. Just do a video and then do another video. It doesn't matter if your videos are good or bad. In the beginning, you know, just get used to, let's do them, you know. So what happened was, I had this error here in China that's making my eyes water. What was I? So anyway, what happened was, I lost my train of thought again. So I was doing videos. I started doing videos, and I just said I had to do it. I had to do it. So I started doing it. And I think I do okay. I don't think I'm up there with the gurus yet or anything, but you know, I felt very uncomfortable. You know, my first video, I think it took me 20-something tries before I found one that I was willing to put up on YouTube. Right? And then after a short while, I started doing videos on one take. So sometimes you have to push yourself, you know, outside the box, Thomas.
Outside the box, yeah, you're right. Because I'll tell you, that's one of the things that I used to have difficulty with, was getting up and doing videos, and even making phone calls. It was one of the things I just couldn't do. But through this Millionaires Club, I've learned that I can make videos, and I'm very comfortable in being able to talk and do them, because at first I was kind of shy. I was afraid I was going to say the wrong thing, and of course, like you said, you know, it takes a little while, it takes practice, but it'll get better, and as we get along, we'll do the things that we need to do to help and aid others.
Yeah, you know, I keep losing my train of thought on this. But I keep thinking about something I wanted to say, but then I forget it. It's really weird. I got all these thoughts going through my mind. But
Focus,
yeah,
focus.
yeah, I have too much focus. You know, I'm sometimes I think ahead. You know, things I
Right.
want to say next, and so it makes me forget about the things I want to say. But it
Well,
was
it's just
pretty
that we have all
interesting.
that
Oh, I
junk.
guess I thought about it. It always comes back to me. Now I thought about it, and
Okay.
it was very strange when I was doing the videos. When I first started, doing the videos and recording myself. Um, I'm trying to talk to a cam recorder, right? The camera. I'm trying to talk to it like it's a person or something. So it's really strange to look at the computer screen and you're kind of talking to yourself and a very strange feeling, you know. And but I knew I had to do it. I said this. I have to do this in order to get more results, the better results that I want. So you have to push yourself outside the box. You got to start doing a few things that you may not feel comfortable doing, a little bit scary. But once you start doing something and you do it again and then and again, each time you do it, your fear lessens. You get a little bit more comfortable with it, and then you keep doing it and just keep doing it. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad. Just do them because you're going to improve over time. Or I don't know how much time it will be, but you will improve. And like I said, I'm not sure what the date was on my first video. But now you can see I'm on Hangout, right? I'm live. I'm not even, at least with when I was doing videos, I can delete them if I didn't like it. I can edit them. Here, I'm stuck with live. so, that's why a lot of times I have to watch what I'm paying attention to what I'm saying. I'm trying to be interesting. Um, I want really good stuff to come out of my mouth, so I'm really focused on what I'm going to say. So it's just interesting, but you gotta enjoy the process. All right, and have fun with it. Don't get so technical. Don't get so tied up in this and that. Just relax, have fun, and try different things. Find what you're good at, and then expand on that. Okay, so everybody's a little bit different. Some people just can't do videos. Doesn't matter what you look like. I mean, I don't have a full head of hair. So some people are really heavy. Don't worry about what you look like. As long as you have a good attitude and good words come out of your mouth, nobody's going to care what you look like. At least I hope not, anyway. All right, let me just go down my list here and see if what did I? Okay, did that. I talked about multitasking. Can't focus on two things at one time. Yeah, like you can't. This is just easy to understand. You can't focus on two things at one time. All right, your brain doesn't work that way. You can't do two things that focus on two things at one time. Now you can walk and talk at the same time, but those are two different parts of your brain. Okay, so but your frontal part of your brain, your thinking part, your reactive one right now, can't do two things at one time. You can't do it. So don't try and read a book while the TV is on, while you're trying to watch TV, because it doesn't work. Uh, you can't do two things at one time. Oh, that's a good example. I don't know if it's a good one or not, but uh, people nowadays, they do something that's really dangerous, and they text on their cell phones while they're driving. Okay, now you can't focus on both. So if when you're texting, you're not paying attention to your driving. And what's happened now, this is kind of a little thing I I try and tell people, if you're in your car, don't be using your cell phone. Don't even talk on it. Even if you got your hands free, don't be talking on the cell phone. But texting. There was a girl just recently, about a month or so ago. She was driving down a highway, and she was texting Facebook, saying how happy she was with her life. And she didn't ever finish the sentence because she got into a crash and unfortunately was killed. So, and it's not a happy thing to bring up, but I'm just trying to show you that you can't focus on two things. And if you do text and drive, please don't do it anymore because it's really, really dangerous. It's as dangerous as drinking and driving. Well, there's my little plug for safety. So. I thought I'd just throw that in there because public awareness is important to me, and so, all right, let's see now. Okay, did that already. Yeah, I'm in China right now, and I'm visiting my wife's family. And like I said, I'm in my son-in-law's apartment right now. My wife is over. We hung wallpaper yesterday. Well, she hung wallpaper yesterday in our new apartment, our new condo we bought. But last year I was here and I was teaching English. And I had a classroom full of students, and it was pretty interesting because as I was teaching, some of the students were doing things on their cell phone, or they were, talking to each other. And I tried to get their attention, but they wouldn't pay attention. Some did, and some didn't. So I don't understand why they did that. But if you're going to go to school, you're going to try and learn something. Pay attention, Give the teacher undivided attention, like you're giving me right now, I hope. But I just want to throw it up because, so many people, they do things, but they don't pay attention. They're trying to do two things, and, it's okay, so I'm getting a little bit too serious now, so I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. Let's see, affirmation, visualization. That's one thing too. Is like certain times you got to take certain actions, right? And what you have to do is visualize what's going to happen. And Jack Nicklaus, famous golfer, he said he never took a swing at a golf ball unless he first visualized the stroke and where the ball's going to go and where it's going to end up. So Olympians also, to watch Olympic athletes like the divers and the gymnasts and stuff like that. If you ever see them, they stop. Before they perform, you see them like kind of standing still. Oh man, I'm getting all this crazy feedback. It's unbelievable. I'm gonna have to put my hearing aids back in for tomorrow. It's so loud. But these athletes, what they do is they stop, and you see them standing there in like a trance. And what they're doing is they're performing their routine or their exercise in their head, and then they go ahead and do it. So you kind of have to like foresee what you want to do, what you want to happen, whatever job you're in, whatever you're doing, and try and see in the future. I do that too, but before I do my webinars here, I kind of run it through my head. I sit back here and I start reading my notes, and I try and visualize the conversation, what I'm going to talk about. And I try and so it runs smoothly. It doesn't always go that way, but it's a really good guide for me. And when I was in real estate, I would, before I went to present an offer, I would go in my head, try and say how I'm going to rehearse it in my mind, how I was going to present the offer so they would accept it. Have you ever done that, Thomas? You know, just to kind of go on ahead and.
No, definitely, definitely. You have to plan. You have to, you know, see it and picture what it is that you have to accomplish. And there's times that you forget, but at the same time, you do have that mental vision of what you want and where you want to go.
Yeah, it helps you out a lot. So, like, we'll give you more training in that too. Okay. I'm just going over some of my notes here, and I'm gonna just pull out a few topics here. We've got a few minutes left. All right, and one of the things here is you have to be determined. Whatever you're doing in life right now, you have to be determined to succeed. All right. So you want to take the right actions so they create the right results. Without that determination, you're really not going to do very well. Okay. What time is it now? I'm just going to talk about one more thing, and then I'll close on this.
I know, in line with what you were saying there, I know there's people that have a job or working for somebody. They're not happy. They basically go to work, clock in, do their time, and clock back out, but really and truly do not enjoy that lifestyle or that job, but they feel that they have to do it because it's an income. Well,
Wow.
if you have your own business, you can determine how much time you want to do. And one of the things that I can truthfully say here with Gary and I is that we look forward to this. We look forward to doing this and educating ourselves and being able to spend this time, and we regulate our own hours. We do other things that we need to do, but at the same time, we devote X amount of hours toward this business. But we look forward to it, and we enjoy it.
Absolutely. I mean, like I keep saying, you're going to hear me say it a lot. This is your life. This is your life. You really want to spend it on a job that you really don't like for how many more years until you retire? I mean, do you really want to do that? Or would you like to, keep that same job, pay your bills and stuff, but work part-time on building your future dream life? Work part-time in the Millionaires Club, and maybe in 2 years, I think if you do everything, you follow what we tell you to do and coach and train you to do, in less than 2 years, you can fire your boss forever, never have to work on a job again. You just just build your assets, you buy assets that create income for you. So work full time on your living, right? And then try and enjoy it. It's giving you money, so try and enjoy it. do the best job you can at your job, but work part time.
Gary, this happened to me today. I met a friend that she works for the state 21 years, and she said, you know what? I was going to wait till I was 65 to retire. She says, but I can't take it anymore. But come April of next year, she says, I'm out of there. I'm out of that job. And she says, and I can truthfully say that you did right when you got out, but she's going to do her, and she's going to retire. So that's one of the things that I can see that, you don't have to get stuck in a job that you don't want.
Yeah, I mean, you can do the 40-40-40 plan, right? 40 hours a week for 40 years, and then retire on 40% of the income you were making on your job. So if you like that, that sounds inviting to you. Well, that's fine for some people. But when I started my work, working when I was younger, I took a job, and within 2 years, I realized I didn't want to just live a job the rest of my life. And what I did was I got my real estate license and I started building, a real estate business. I was working full time on my job. I was at Rutgers University, very good job, paid very well. The benefits were fantastic. So what I did was after I started at Rutgers, 2 years later, I got my real estate license. Started building up my career, right? And all the money from Rutgers paid all my bills. Now, what I did when I made money in the real estate, that money went to invest in real estate. All right, I was buying, selling homes like crazy. And what happened was, I was building my wealth on a part-time basis, but I kept my job because I didn't want to take money from my real estate and pay bills with it. So that's why I kept the job for that reason. And I stayed at Rutgers for 12 years, all right? And that's when my real estate career demanded, it really demanded all my time, okay? So I said, well, it's time. It's time for me to get out of the world of the job. And that was in 1983. I quit Rutgers, and I haven't worked a job since then. I've done a few seasonal jobs in sales, but I never a full-time job ever again after that. I was just real estate. And you're going to hear stories about my real estate career, because what I did was, what I'm telling you right now about actions, I focused so much on real estate. Everything I did was about real estate. All my actions were to build a real estate empire, to be a really fantastic real estate person, investor, builder, and that's what happened. So I focused on that career, and also after a while it went down, but then it went back up. And so real estate's a crazy world. So you got to accept it the way it is, because sometimes you get surprised with the market turns. But so that's what I did. And watching the clock here, because I don't never want to go past an hour. So we're almost up now. We're up now. Let's see if I think I covered everything I wanted to and a little bit more. This other stuff is good for another hangout. Okay. All right. So yeah. So basically, what I'm just going to close is on the same question I started with. Where is your life right now? Is it taking you where you want to go? If it's not, are you doing anything? Are you doing anything about your own life? It's like I said, this is your life. Where do you want it to go in the future? All right, where do you want to be? Make a list. Where do you want to be in 5 years? And I mean dream. I don't. You get a lot of employers. They ask you on a job interview, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And well, that's just a job interview. But if I ask you seriously, if I talk to you one-on-one, and I said, tell me about where you'd like to see your life 5 years from now, and then I say, what do you have to do today? What do you have to do today to start going to that direction, to get that? Could you tell me what you can do? Maybe you start. The first thing you really should do is open up a wealth account. Even if it's just for $100 or whatever. Go to the bank and make regular deposits into the wealth account, and then once you get to a certain point, you can start buying assets. We'll talk about that. That's another topic we talk about too, buying assets to create wealth for yourself. And you start off small. You can start buying a silver at $20 every week. Buy one silver coin for $20 and build up a supply. I'm buying silver right now. So I'll close with that question. Where is your life right now, and are you doing anything to improve your life, to get to where you want to be. If not, join the Millionaires Club. We'll help you design a plan. We'll help you crystallize your dream life into a vision, into a picture you can actually see. We'll help you create that picture, and then we'll put you on the road to get there. And that's what the Millionaires Club is all about, is to get you moving towards your dream lifestyle, and to make money at the same time you're going down that road. Okay.
Well, I know where I'm going to be 5 years from now.
Where's that, Thomas?
Well, on my way to being a millionaire. That is one of my perceptions of being able to do that, because I have already conquered one of my obstacles, and that was communication. And
okay,
I'm the cat's out of the bag. I'm well on. I know where I will be in 5 years.
How about 2 years?
2 years.
You got to go. What you do is, if you know where you're going to be in 5 years, what you got to do is you have to have milestones, right? So in 5 years you have to be here. 4 years you have to be here. 3 years you have to be here. 2 years you have to be here. And next month you have to be someplace. So you got to set up the milestones. They're small, they're targets as you go along to keep you on track and stuff. And then you celebrate them. Every time you reach a certain milestone, you celebrate in some way. And again, that will teach you that within the Millionaires Club, how to set up a really good plan that's fit for you. Because everybody's going to be different. Everybody's plan's going to be different. Some people have money to invest, some people don't. So no matter where you're starting from, your dream life is possible. But you've got to get on that road towards it first. You just can't sit where you are now. Get on the road to your dream life, get on the road to financial freedom, and get on the road to joining the Millionaires Club. It's only $25, one-time payment. Okay? So, I mean, dinner or a movie. Give up a dinner or a movie. Join the Millionaires Club. Okay, anything, Thomas?
Nope. I've said what I need to be, and I'm really excited about this whole thing. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome ride. It's gonna be a lot of fun. As you can see, I take things seriously, but I try to have a lot of fun. If you can't have fun in your life, I'm sure you can, if you love your job, that's cool. But if you don't like your job, get rid of it. We'll show you how to get rid of your job in less than 2 years. Okay, and then you can really celebrate.
Yeah.
So, once you create financial freedom, right, and you have enough money coming in for your investments to cover your entire lifestyle, then you don't have to work again unless you want to. And I'm always going to work. I'm always going to work. Well, like I said, you really, I don't know if you want to call what I do work, because when you're doing something you really love doing, it's not really work. You have a purpose in life, and that's what it is. You're here for a reason. Everybody has a purpose in their life, and everybody finds their purpose at certain ages. You have to go through the trials and tribulations of life, and some people know right away from a young age, and some people don't catch on till they're older. I mean, I was in real estate until I was in my 50s, right? And I had no inclination that I would be doing something like this at that time. I thought I would just be in real estate forever. But yeah, after a while, real estate, it takes its toll on you, because it's a demanding profession. It really is, and it has a lot of roller coaster rides in real estate. So after a certain age, you want to be more safe. So then you get tired too. You get a little older. You don't have the energy to run around working 16 hours a day on a road and stuff like that. So, but I had fun. It was a wild ride, and I wouldn't give it up. But now I'm doing something I'm really supposed to be doing, share my experience, share my knowledge, and help other people create a fantastic lifestyle. And what happens here is I help enough people get the kind of lifestyle that they want. I get the kind of lifestyle I want automatically. So I don't even think about my lifestyle. I just concentrate on helping you get yours. And then it comes to me automatically. All right, so I just want you to know I'm here to help you, and we're going to do everything we can to guide you, coach you, train you, mentor you to a lifestyle that you never thought possible, and we're going to make it possible for you. You just have to take the first step, join a Millionaires Club, and then take the next step, which is start taking daily actions on your dream. Okay, that's it. That's it. What's so hard about taking daily steps towards what you really want in your life? That should be really easy, right? So you can see sometimes I joke around a lot. You can see I have a passion, and hopefully it comes out in the way I talk. My whole demeanor changes and stuff, and I talk from the heart. Sometimes I talk from here, sometimes I talk from here. So, okay. Anyway, yeah, there we go. So we are 10:02. I talked 2 minutes too long. So, okay, we're going to close tomorrow's webinar hangout. We're going to talk about results, and how to get better results and talk about it and things like that. And then on Thursday, we're going to do an overview of what we did first 3 nights, and then we're going to talk about the Millionaires Club, and we'll answer any questions that you want. And okay, so get back to it. If you want to join, you can join right now. Get in touch with the person who invited you here to this hangout. Get back to them. Say, I want in the Millionaires Club. And they'll give you the process necessary to join. And we'll see you inside the Millionaires Club. All right? So we are done, out of here, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a great day. Bye now.